Hello, beautiful human beings. I've been putting off making this video on how to use the cards, but I figured today that we'd look into two of the decks that are most similar, which is emotional intelligence and also paradoxical mental wealth. So these two decks really go hand in hand with each other. I couldn't, even though the paradoxical mental wealth one is really my baby, it's one of my greatest artistic creations, and I have about 3 of them now. One of my most favorite ways to play is to basically just have them on my person, in a pocket, or I guess if you don't have pockets, in a handbag or something along the lines of that, just somewhere where it's actually in the way of your life so that you do notice it. And the thing is that when you do notice it, you pull it out, you open up the box, you remove the cards, you can shuffle it if you want, but I usually don't. I usually just split the deck and have a bit of a read. And it says, we exile the parts of us that we fear, then chase lovers to reflect them. That's not a relationship, it's a reunion. And I'll either put it away then, I'll contemplate the idea, or if I feel like it, I'll pick a different card. But I don't want to go among mad people, Alice remarked. Oh, you can't help that, said the cat. We're all mad here. I'm mad, you're mad. How do you know I'm mad, said Alice. You must be mad, said the cat. You wouldn't have come here. Yeah, I love this deck. Yeah, and then I might give it a bit of a shuffle before putting it back in the box. Usually when I put a card back, I always put it back in the center, so the draw's kind of going to be random anyway. And yeah, that's basically my favorite way to use these decks. Excuse the camera wobble, the wind and the wind is just bumping it up and down. But it is what it is. Well, I just got that wet, so I'm going to have to put that there. It's too hot out here. Another way to use them, of course, is I think that's another one of my favorite ways to use it, is that basically I ask people if they want to draw a card. And I'll just fan the cards out like this. I'll be like, pick a card. So pick a card. No, do it. You don't want to pick it? Okay, thank you for saying no to me. It means you're saying yes to yourself. But for the sake of my own entertainment, I will pick a card. So this is from the Emotional Intelligence deck, and it has to say, sometimes the universe puts you in the same situation again to see if you're still a dumbass. Keep learning, dumbass. Yeah, I like them. So that's another way to play it. My favorite thing, if I actually have a table, in which case this has got a nice surface to be able to do this, is just to fan them out and then kind of just play and have a look and just pick out one that feels right to you. I think this one feels right to me. And it says, the more we are shamed for the truth, the more motivated we are to lie. Truth does not mind being questioned. A lie does not like being challenged. I have to read that again because there's a dog scratching at the door. The more we are shamed for the truth, the more motivated we are to lie. Truth does not mind being questioned. A lie does not like being challenged. Yeah, and I'll just put it somewhere random back in, and that just blew away. Because it's portable at the moment. When I start actually displaying it places, I'll put a staple in it or something so it doesn't do that. Maybe I'll be inside. And yeah, chuck the cards back together, have a bit of a shuffle if you want, put it back in the box, whatever. I think the important thing is that there isn't really any wrong way to use these decks. It's just as long as you're reading what the content is and actually considering it, then you're doing it right. It's nothing, don't take it too seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously. I think that's something that I sometimes do, which when I remind myself and start drawing these cards, it reminds me of how silly I am. And yeah, you cannot fix someone who does not want to be fixed, but you can ruin your life trying. Yeah, I deeply love the emotional intelligence deck, but let's go back to the paradox deck just for a laugh. Would you like to draw a card? No? Okay, I guess it's up to me. It's upside down. No man ever steps into the same river twice, for it is a different man and a different river. Heraclitus. Yeah. I actually thought that was a Buddha quote, but much Googling said that Heraclitus said it. So who knows if that's right? Maybe I am misquoting people, but that's okay. I've done my best to research things, and my best isn't terribly hard, but it's hard enough for me. We wanted validation so badly, we outsourced our worth. The truth, no amount of external approval can replace the self that never got met. That's a good card. I love this. Yeah. So that's basically how to play. And hey, while I'm sitting here, I may as well pull out the other decks, because may as well extend this video. Since I'm feeling good about talking on camera at the moment, which doesn't always happen, generally I don't enjoy it, but it has its moments. So that's Paradox. Oh, which still needs to dry out, so I'm just going to chuck in the sun. By the way, these boxes are like, these are so durable. Like, it says on the back that the cards are supposed to be worn out and in, but these boxes are super durable. I've had some of these things in my pocket pretty much for like 3 months straight, or 2.5 months straight, and still they're just in somewhat pristine condition. I'm actually really, really impressed. Okay, so we'll go for the dating deck. So the dating deck is more so, this is actually also a keep in your pocket. A lot of it's to do with self-esteem. I really wanted it to be people being more authentic with each other and allowing themselves to be themselves and all that sort of stuff when designing and putting together this deck, because I looked at where my insecurities are. I mean, well, how do I fix those insecurities? I'm like, I make a deck and then share them with other people, and maybe it can be like a talking point or whatever. But I kind of like pictured this when I initially made it, that just is about you're going to go on a date like the hours before or just as you're walking. You just like pick a card and see what happens. Open wounds and honest words. We risk being seen because hiding has never given us the love we longed. Forgive me, I misunderstood it. We risk being seen because hiding has never given us the love we longed for. Yeah, so you can kind of like see how that matches with what I just said. Let's try another one. Pre-date psych up. We show up with our full humanity, not just our highlights. Authenticity opens doors perfection never could. Yeah. Yeah, this is super cute. I love it. One more. Less judgment, more blankets. We are free to pause, to redirect, to say no, which is saying yes to ourselves, and still be lovable. Yeah, the dating deck. I don't refer much to the dating deck myself, and I probably should actually like look at it some more. And that leaves us one more deck, which is Sacrifice Shame, which is a 2-player game, which I like to describe it as, if I were to ever play Truth and Dare and that deck is around, I will always choose Dare. Where is it? I'm genuinely nervous pulling these cards. I invented them. I gotta love it. Oh, man, I love how well they spread on Velvet. It just makes my life so much easier. Shit, give me a nice one. Give me something cool. I like this one on the end. What does that say? What have you been pretending not to care about just to protect yourself from the shame of wanting it too much? Yeah, I think I can actually speak into this one. I think it's like acceptance from other people. Like, I think fundamentally, deep down, my acceptance of other people has been something that I've really wanted. And it's a paradox at the same time. So it's shadow worker sort of thing. I know that they don't have a problem with me. It's nothing to do with me. Life is not personal like that. Everything's just a reflection of them. And of course, at the same time, there's many people that I prefer to not want to be around, not because I'm judging them. I don't want to be around me all the time either, but because of discernment. Like, this just isn't my preference. Shallow conversations are something that quite often, if it goes on too long, I can't help but listen to them, because it's kind of like a mental block of mine of not being listened to. So I have to listen to them and they're just talking about stuff that just deeply doesn't interest me. And it's hard because I don't necessarily want to control the conversation. I want to be that like narcissistic or whatever. So quite often I just sit in silence and just wait until I feel like leaving. Yeah, it's a funny one about my desire for depth most of the time, which again is one of the reasons that I actually built this deck. I'm so happy that I got this card. It's a reasonable one, but because we're on a roll now, and I don't know when to quit. Let's play one more. Sacrifice Shame. Oh, Sacrifice Shame is a two-player card game, so you kind of like spread out the cards. You pick a card and you can ask each other questions. You can ask the question and ask what it means to you. Which you can kind of do with all these cards. You can answer it when you ask it, or you can ask them and they have to answer it, then you have to answer it as well. It's kind of like flexibility, but remember you also don't have to answer it. You don't have to make up shit. You can just be like, I'm too uncomfortable to answer this question, which I might be when I freaking read this. We'll see. What's more shameful, having too much or asking for more? I feel like asking for more is actually more shameful to me. It's having too much. No, both of them are actually. No, like I live in a world of like pretty big gratitude for everything that I have, and that seems to work well for me. And then I just seem to be given more. And if I'm not, well, good because I'm just like, well, I'll be grateful for what I have now, and yeah, I guess asking for more then is more shameful because I want to want what I have. And anything on top of that is awesome, and any change is awesome because then I'll remind myself that that I will work towards. This is it. I'm always working towards it. I'm not freaking perfect. I'm no better or worse than the next person. But yeah, I feel like asking for more is really more shameful for me than having too much because, um, having too much is just a matter of how much gratitude I have. Like, check out this finger, it's still working. Oh my God, this finger is working. As long as this finger's working, then I'm all good. But if it's not, I got this one. This one works real well. Laughing at my own jokes, what a muppet. Anyhow, so yeah, those are the decks. I gotta put these cards away before they blow in between friggin' cracks of the deck. So I don't want to have to dig up the deck here to try to get back at getting the cards. So thank you so much for taking the time for learning how these cards work. And they work however. Do what you want with them. If you're consuming some of the content, then that's amazing. You're using the cards exactly how they are. And if that's not working for you, please do me a favor and like get in touch with me and tell me how I can better do my job. Like, or just there's a feedback form on the inside of every box that you can, where is it? Inside of every box that you can fill in, and you can just like give me heaps of shit about not doing my job properly and how terrible these things are. Because I'd like to hear it, and I will read it all, and I will put it all into consideration because I'm just learning. But in saying that, I know how many people enjoy these decks, so that's not going to be too much of a problem for me. But yeah, always love a good troll. Because these cards are like a little bit trolly because they're calling out truths on people. Well, what I perceive as truths, subjective, objective reality. What even is it? Hmm. Thank you so much for taking your time to listen to my banter. And I'm sending you like so much forgiveness, acceptance, and love, and just like appreciation. And when it comes to the abyss, I find it to be a bit of a mirror. If I scream into it, it screams back at me. If I send it love, it sends love back. And that's not anywhere on any of these cards, but I just felt like saying that. Love you guys, wish you gratitude, and you're awesome. And yeah, sending love. Okay, bye-bye. So I just found this last card, and I've got a dog walking around, so excuse the sound of the footsteps, but this is a Sacrifice Shame. And here's the one that I probably didn't want to answer is, what's something that you want to say but haven't because you're scared it will change how people see you forever? And a part of it is that I've assumed for a long time, but I've just recently been more formally diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And it has its massive weaknesses because life is a massive emotional roller coaster at times, but it also has its strengths because like I was talking to someone else with borderline about this just 2 days ago, and I was saying that like the strengths is that because our emotions are such a so-called weakness and our reactions to things are such a weakness that we do triple down and turn them into a strengths to be able to help us be able to read other people and to understand ourselves and things like that. Give me a second. I'm just going to close this door. The other thing is probably my greatest fear. Yeah, here we go. Um, my greatest fear comes from, or my greatest fear is that I believe that I'm like living reality, helping other people, and living like what I seems like a meaningful living life. And then I like wake up or like in a dream, in dreams we sometimes like strangers will say what people are saying to you. Like, if someone that's trying to wake you up, they're telling you to wake up and that stranger's like, wake up. That person that you're talking to in the dream is telling you to wake up in the other person's voice before you wake. I think my biggest fear is to have that experience, and it turns out that that I wake up and I'm actually committing like total atrocity. Um, the idea that I give to to kind of like sell this point to someone is not me, other people. I'm stalling because I don't want to share. Vulnerability and courage, they require each other. Uh, as I wake up and I'm cutting the arm off a child in the middle of the jungle and it's screaming. And to my understanding, that's not happening. But something along the lines of that is is my biggest is I'm pretty sure it's my biggest fear. If like everything that I'm existing right now is some sort of like psychotic episode, and that I wake up and I'm actually being extremely harmful to people. And I actually have I worked out the origin story of this, and I think I'm about a month from being able to, this no longer being my biggest fear, not because I'm going to face it and go, someone, shit, this is embarrassing. But because I'm currently dealing with like a Jungian analyst who, once I bring this up, they're going to be able to say the words to me that's going to be able to make me realize that I'm good. And I know that I can say that to other people, but I can't say it to me because I don't know how to treat me, but I know how to treat other people sometimes, which is frustrating. Um, but the reason that that started was like when I was very, very young, I was on the tractor with my dad. I was sitting on the mudguard of the tractor, and um, it's funny, it's got that roll bar, those old tractors, so it was like red or orange. And I was sitting on that, and I kind of like, you could put your ear against the tractor, and it's kind of like vibrating like crazy. It's like hits your head pretty hard. It almost like hurts, but you're like, I want to listen to this deafening roar of this motor idling at like 2000 or 1500 RPM or something. And anyhow, we're driving through this paddock, and then my dad just stops, and I'm assuming, I think he was to open a gate. And he opens the gate, and he walks up to me, and he like gives me something. He gives me something, and I'm very, very young. I have no idea what it is. My dad's giving me something. It's obviously going to be something cool. And the thing that I thought it was is like a G.I. Joe character, like those little action figures, those little plastic inefficients. It's not the big doll ones that you can like dress up and shit. No, these ones you only give them a gun, and that's about all they can carry. It's just things in their hand, and sometimes their thumbs break off and you go to put the gun in their hands. And so I grabbed it and I squeezed it. And then I think my dad said something like, "What are you doing?" And I looked down again, and there was this frog with his legs splayed out, and there was stuff coming out of his bum because I'd squished it to death. I was just like, man, I fucking hurt. And Dad wasn't upset with me or anything, but I was deeply upset with myself that I hadn't realized that was the gift that he'd actually given me. And yeah, so that kind of delusion is probably what my greatest fear is. Yeah. I will see if I post this online. I probably will not. But thank you for listening.